and we just forgot about it because it is a little bit dated. This happened in 2009. And it is known as, should I say, the Good Club, interestingly enough. And so the article here, I seen another article. I printed out a different article. I'm going to read a little bit from that, but you can still do your own research on this. They're called, and again, it's dated, the article I'm reading from is May 30th, 2009. So 11 years ago. So they're called the Good Club, and they want to save the world. Here it goes. It is the most elite club in the world. Ordinary people need not apply. Indeed, there is no way to ask to join. You simply have to be very, very rich and very, very generous on a global scale. This is the Good Club, the name given to a tiny global elite of billionaire philanthropists who recently held their first and highly secretive meeting in the heart of New York City. The names of the members are familiar figures: Bill Gates, George Soros, Warren Buffett, Oprah Winfrey, David Rockefeller, and Ted Turner. But there are others too, like business giants Eli and Edith Broad, who are equally wealthy but less well known. All told, its members are worth $125 billion. I wonder how much influence that can buy. The meeting, called by Gates, Buffett, and Rockefeller, was held in response to a global economic downturn and the numerous health and environmental crises that are plaguing the globe. I'm not going to read the whole thing of this because it is pretty lengthy. It's several pages long. I'm just going to kind of touch on a couple of things. For 6 hours, the assembled billionaires discussed the crisis facing the world. Each was allowed to speak for 15 minutes. The topics focused on education, emergency relief, government reform, and expected depth of the economic crisis and global health issues such as overpopulation and disease. Sources say Gates was the most impressive speaker, while Turner was the most outspoken. The group should have met, have met at all is indicative of radical ways in which philanthropy has changed over the past 2 decades. The main force behind the change is Gates and his decision to donate almost all his fortune to bettering the world. Stay with me on this. We're going somewhere. Unlike the great philanthropists of former ages, Gates is young enough and active enough to take a full hands-on role in his philanthropy and craft it after his own ideas. They continue on. It was fitting that the Good Club was meeting near the United Nations. I'm going to skip down a little bit. There is a little doubt, here it goes. There is a little doubt that the members of the Good Club have done amazing work. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, with a current endowment of more than 30 billion, is the biggest philanthropic organization ever. Just one of its projects, listen, take note of this one because you're going to hear me and you're going to see it later. Just one of its projects, the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization, is estimated by the WHO, World Health Organization, to have prevented 3.4 million deaths in just 8 years. They continue on. The strange truth is that giving away billions of dollars is difficult and fraught with risk. There can be waste, mismanagement, and poor investment. At the same time, it can actually do harm. If you are putting enormous amounts of money into a community that can't cope with it, then you can implode that community. Others are even more outspoken at the growing dominance of a tiny handful of billionaires. This is back in 2009, and the development sector. The problem with any good club is that all the people might not be good, or at least not good in universal definitions, said Louis Uwaku, the Rwanda founder, Rwanda-born founder of the Canadian education charity Protovision. Okay, so, but some people are crying conspiracy. The cloak and dagger aspect of meeting has prompted some to accuse the Good Club of being part of a Bilderberg group for philanthropy, with an equally nefarious agenda of global power politics. That idea has particular power on the Christian right of America, which has reacted angrily to the idea that the club discussed birth control and overpopulation. Experts in the philanthropy field think that this negative image can be countered by more openness for good club meetings. If they do hold more meetings, and every indication is that they will, I think people would want them to be more public. After all, they can make decisions that affect millions of lives. End quote, said Willem. That was a lot, but what do we take from this? This was written down in 2009. Bill Gates, along with a group of select billionaires and most of which are major influencers, are meeting together to talk about overpopulation, to talk about birth control, to talk about some of the things that we read about on those stones.